Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Aisha Bashiruddin, an educationist, researcher, and writer. Today is the 8th presentation video based on my research on Muslim women identity construction in America. In the last 4 presentation videos, I looked at theme 1 of the 4 generations of women in America, that is, baby boomers, Generation X, Y, and Z. In this presentation video, I will sum up the analysis and look at some of the similarities and differences between these 4 generations. So stay with me. Please subscribe and like my channel. Let us look at the sub-themes that emerged from the analysis of data of theme 1, which is about early identity construction. The sub-themes that emerged from the data analysis of baby boomers are parental formation of religious identity and following the role models. The sub-themes that emerged from the data from Generation X is positive role of significant others and learning from religious institutions. Generation Y, the sub-themes are forging communal identity and influences at home. And the 2 sub-themes from analysis of Generation Z are religion as a defining element for the family and learning about Islam from outside sources. Let me talk about some similarities. The data reveals that families' influence was very significant on early childhood construction of identity. All the women, irrespective of their generation and ethnic background, found family and its influence important in shaping their identity as Muslims. The narratives provide evidence that their families were instrumental in building their identity and self-realization. For example, baby boomers had 2 sub-themes: parental formation of religious identity and following the role models. Both of these show that family had strong influence on their formation of identity. Similarly, analysis of the data of Generation X provide evidence through one of its sub-themes, which is positive role of significant others. This includes the influence of family and people outside the family who help them in forging their identity. Likewise, Generation Y talks about influences at home which help them to construct their identity, and Generation Z mentions role of family in developing their identity because, according to them, religion has been a defining element for the family. There are various ways in which the immediate family, that is, their parents, influenced their development as Muslim, such as by guiding them, teaching them about religion and the religious practices, and by being their role models. Furthermore, the data also reveals that the extended family helped in their identity formation, such as grandparents, uncles, and elder sisters. Some narratives also show that there were significant others in their lives who taught them Quran, such as the neighbor, the Maulvi Sahab, and others. The family values and positive child-parent relationships were also deemed to be important in forging their identity and reinforced religious values and practices. The family also provided a context to socialize with others. In the narratives, it is stated that their parents took them to the masjid to attend prayers and at other occasions. Some of the differences. One difference between different generations that emerges from the data is that baby boomers and Generation X had deeper influence of the family in forming identity as a Muslim in early years, whereas Generation Y and Z learned about religion and the Quran from outside sources such as religious institutions. Hence, according to Generation Y, they developed communal identity. One of the factors mentioned in the narratives of Generation Y and Z was that the parents were too busy in their jobs and household chores to attend to their children and to teach them about religion. Hence, they found other ways of constructing their identities. The religious institutions had significant influence because they provided a framework for understanding about their religion within a larger world. It also provided a haven for many of the young girls in which they could learn and practice their religion, and they developed both individual and group identity. The religious institutions, such as Sunday school and Islamic school, had enduring influence because these institutions influenced the young individuals through transmission of religious knowledge, beliefs, values, and practices. They inculcated in them the ethical and moral values such as kindness and caring. The analysis of theme 1 brings in an interesting dimension mentioned by women who belong to Generation Z, which is unique to this generation. They have mentioned that since they grew up with access to the internet and digital media, they deepened their understanding about Islam and its practices by watching Islamic programs and by listening to the lectures on YouTube. Thank you for your attention. See you next week with the next presentation video on March 4th, 2023. Take care and see you next week. Until then, goodbye and Allah Hafiz.